I would say this is a national security risk. It's not listen, playtime is over, okay. I should probably not visit Russia, and mark my words. AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Nevertheless, the consequences of a nuclear war cannot be underestimated. A nuclear war is deadly, catastrophic, and uncalled for. Unfortunately, as things stand, Russian President Vladimir Putin is likely to use nukes against Ukraine as the US and her European allies mount pressure on Moscow. American billionaire Elon Musk has also weighed in on the Russo-Ukrainian war by confirming that the US is independent of Russian engines and has nothing to lose should the conflict escalate. Have a look. Russia said that they are going to stop the delivery of rocket engines. Is that for SpaceX the threat or an opportunity? Well, SpaceX, we design and manufacture our rocket engines, so we do not rely on any Russian components at all. This will affect for the United States of America. It is dangerous or, well, Boeing and Lockheed have historically relied on the Russian RD-180 engine, which I should say, to be fair, is a great engine. They're hoping to move away from that in the future with the engines from Blue Origin. But those engines are not yet ready for flight. There is also the Antares vehicle, which uses their RD-181. I believe they will not be able to fly as a result. With all your knowledge and products, services, your almost strategic weapon in modern warfare, how do you see your role in that context? Ukraine shows that there are opportunities that you needed. Well, I certainly hope that SpaceX and Tesla are not forced to develop any kind of weapons technology. Obviously, we would only do such a thing if it was the last resort. I mean it more in the metaphorical sense. Not that you produce weapons, but that your knowledge can be used in order to make a difference in conventional warfare or in the warfare of the future, which is AI. I think I can be helpful in conflicts. Yeah, I try to take the set of actions that are most likely to improve the probability that the future will be good. And so, obviously, sometimes I make mistakes in this regard, and so it's not always get it right. But I aspire to get it right, and so, whatever I think is most likely to ensure that the future is good for, all of humanity. That's the actions that I will take. Yeah, that is Elon. That is Musk. He's a man whose main goal is to make life better and serve humanity even in this war. The SpaceX founder has strongly warned Russian dictator Vladimir Putin for starting the war in Eastern Europe. At one point, Elon challenged Putin to a physical combat. In an interview, Elon Musk reveals some of the measures that European countries can use to tame Putin's influence and cut Russia's money supply. Check this out. The terrible actions of Putin, to a certain degree, also result of strategic mistakes that Europe, particularly Germany, has made the dropout of nuclear energy. Actually, can I just say, I think it's very important that Germany not shut down its nuclear power stations. I think this is extremely crazy. I just wanted to ask a question on that. Because if we really want to reduce Putin's power and Europeans and Germany's dependence on Russian energy, this works only through decarbonization. So my question to you is, should we have even more nuclear energy in order to get faster independent from Putin and to resolve the climate issues? I want to be super clear. In my opinion, Germany should not only not shut down the nuclear power plants, it should reopen the ones that shut down. And those are the fastest ones to restart. It's crazy to shut down nuclear power plants now, especially if you're in a place where there's not natural disasters. So if you're maybe somewhere where there's severe earthquakes or tsunamis and something like that. It's more, of a question mark as to, maybe but if there's not massive natural disaster at risk, which Germany does not have, then there's really no danger within nuclear power plants, and you don't see any safer alternatives that could have a similar effect. So solar and wind is not going to do it without any other ideas in mind about future energy policy. I think long-term most of civilization's energy is going to come from solar. And then you need to store it with a battery because obviously the sun only shines during the day, and sometimes it's very cloudy, so you need a solar batteries. This will be the main long-term way that civilization is powered. But between now and then we need to maintain nuclear. I kind of emphasize enough, please. Not shut down the nuclear power plants, and please reopen the ones that have been checked. This is total madness. To shut them down, I want to be clear. Total madness. Let's see whether you are very clear. Words are heard in your consequences. Germany. Use the strongest words. I would say this is a national security risk. It's not like playtime is over. Okay, obviously playtime is over. When it is a national security issue, you can be sure that Elon Musk will speak out from the onset of the war in February this year. Elon has been a staunch supporter of Ukraine. He has helped Ukraine's army and the civilians to stay connected by supplying the war-torn country with SpaceX Starlink satellite internet. In an interview, Musk discusses the dangers of an AI war and his efforts of helping Ukraine with satellite internet connection. Have a look. You've been supplying for Ukraine. You've been helping the internet there, right? Yes. It's been successful. Yes. Were you hesitant at all from any negative backlash from Russia? Well, I should probably not visit Russia. I don't think you tweeted something about that. Why not? You know what I mean? It's probably unwise. You know. I mean, you 2017. You said the Third World War will be a war with or about AI. Now we have a very conventional war. Can AI help? One of the reasons for World War III would be if one country has or one place has advanced AI technology and other powers wanted. Or they're worried about some country gaining advanced AI that would give them a strong advantage in war. Then they may be tempted to attack before the country that is developing the strong AI has that for use in weapons technology. Couldn't AI, even in this moment, just with the technology that we have before us, be used in some fairly destructive ways? You could make its swarm of assassin drones for very little money by just taking the Face ID chip that's used in cell phones and having a small explosive charge and a standard drone, and have them just do a grid sweep of the building until they find the person looking for ram into them and explore. You can do that right now. No extra, no new technologies. Right now, people just think this stuff is of sci-fi novels and movies, and it's so far away. But every time I hear you speak, it's like, well, no, this stuff is sitting. It's right here. Probably a bigger risk than they're being hunted down by a drone is that AI would be used to make incredibly effective propaganda. That would not seem like propaganda. These are deep things. Influence the direction of society. Influence elections. Artificial intelligence just hones the message, check, looks the feed, looks at the feedback, makes this message slightly better within milliseconds. It can adapt this message and shift and react to news. Make its swarm of assassin drones for very little money by just taking the Face ID chip that's used in cell phones and having a small explosive charge and a standard drone, and have them just do a grid sweep of the building until they find the person looking for ram into them and explode. You can do that right now. No extra, no new technologies needed right now. Probably a bigger risk than they're being hunted. Done by a drone is that AI would be used to make incredibly effective propaganda that would not seem like propaganda. These things influence the direction of society. Influence elections. Artificial intelligence just hones the message, check, looks the people, looks at the feedback, makes this message slightly better within milliseconds. It can adapt this message and shift and react to news. And there's so many social media accounts out there that are not people. They can. How do you know it's a person, not a person? And the regulators and others are a little bit in denial about this. Is the speed, the pace of change. What is the consequence of that speed of change? The way in which a regulation is put in place is slow and linear. And we are facing an exponential threat. If you have a linear response to an extra exponential threat, it's quite likely the exponential threat will win. That, in a nutshell, is the issue. The long-term aspiration for neural language would be to achieve a symbiosis with artificial intelligence. and to achieve a sort of democratization of intelligence such that it is not monopolistically held in a purely digital form by governments and large corporations. Basically, an effort for man to merge with machine and healthy way to beat machines.